Hey you guys, I hope you all are doing very, very good. So yeah, it's late fall, I guess, early winter, not quite winter. Snow levels coming down the mountain, as you can see. Well, you might not be able to see from here. But I got big news for you guys. So the 690 has gone to a new home. And if you guys stick around and watch the video, I'm going to explain why. But I'll give you a quick glimpse right here. Stick around. So yeah, this bike is a hoot, you guys. Holy smokies. It's like it's on train tracks. Like when you compare it to a 690, good lord. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still love that 690. That's an amazing bike. But it wasn't designed to be up doing this kind of stuff. Oh my gosh, I could throw this bike around like it's a featherweight. Literally. I gotta stop and wipe the smile off my face. Hold on here. So yes, you guys, it's completely true. This is a dirt bike with blinkers. Plain and simple. Well, it's going to take me some getting used to this, my goodness. You guys remember this little gnarly cliff thing? So as usual, I'm way overdressed. I think I'm going to lose my sleeves. I got my base layer on because it's only 6 degrees today, so I figured I'd be like mega cold, but of course, I'm probably the worst guy for overdressing or underdressing. So this is a good little challenge, this hill. I haven't upgraded my tires at all yet. It's got a 505, a brand new 505 cheater on the back, which I'm not liking. And a fat tire something on the front. It's just what it came with, so I'll be ripping that off and putting the motos on. But we'll give them a little workout here anyways. That's crazy. Man, it just eats those bumps up like the 690. It's got all the power in the world, but you know, the chassis design and the suspension, it's not made to go over big bumps like this at, you know, fast. Super impressed with this bike. So this is a 2017 model, so it's got all the new updates as far as I know. I don't think they're any different from what I was reading. I was actually hoping to get my hands on a 350, but I couldn't find one. I like to get my bikes a year or two old. So I'm currently following an abandoned ATV trail. So here's a great example of why the wide ratio tranny. See, I'm in first gear and it's literally, I got trees everywhere. So it's literally creeping along in first gear. That's where the 690, first gear is pretty fast on that bike, so you're riding the clutch a lot. It can be done, but you know, that's one of the reasons them bikes run hot a lot of the time, is you got to slip the clutch to make them go slow. If KTM would have just put an enduro, like a wide ratio tranny in it, it would have been even better, like even more capable. But not to say you can't do all this, because I did it for a few years, but I just wanted the heaps and heaps of suspension travel that these bikes have. I guess what I was looking for is a wicked dual sport. The 690 really, I guess it is a dual sport, but essentially it's a small adventure bike is what it would be. Oh, you guys see all these deer? They just took off on me. I don't know how many there was. There was lots. Oh, look at them all. One in every direction. So I'd say I got about half an hour on this bike. You know, other than the day I brought it home, I rode around my neighborhood for 10 minutes. But I think what I'm liking the most is that it's got loads of power for what I'm doing. I mean, you guys know how I ride. I like to give her, but it's got plenty of power, and it doesn't even have a pipe on it or a fuel controller or anything. I think the previous owner just desmogged it. And then, I don't exactly know what they all did, but I'm going to find out. I know they took the intake thing out, and I don't know. I shouldn't even say because I didn't get into it. I did get a service record with it, though, so I know when the oil's changed, valves are checked, yada yada. I know about all that stuff. So I am pleased, but what I'm digging is the fact that it's got loads of power and it revs and it's quiet. You know, that it's got the baffle out of there, I think, or the whatever it comes with, probably a spark arrestor or something, but I'm digging it. I bought a new saw here too. It's what is it? Corona Wicked saw. My gosh, and it went a little longer too, so things like this you can just blaze through. But one of the cool things about the 6 Days model, which this is it's got the suspension's a little different than the regular. You can see it's got, I don't know, you might not be able to see, it's got collars on here that you can turn. And it changes the preload on the springs inside, so you can actually give yourself a stiffer front end. Which for a ding-a-ling like me that likes to do them, you know, I like to pretend I like to know how to do stunts and ride the front nose wheelie a little bit. That's ideal because you know, on the 690 the front end would really dive because that's a lot of weight, you know, transferring onto the front end. So that is a big plus for me. Can't believe how easy it wheelies. This is a fun little hill. The roll-on power in third gear, like when you roll it on in third gear, it gets up and goes. Quite surprised. Yeah, so here I'll just quickly go over some of the things I like about KTMs and quickly about my decisions. And yeah, why? I mean, one of the main things is the transmission. I like the wide ratio. I like to do lots of single track stuff. Like really slow stuff. Like I like to challenge myself, almost like you're on a trials bike, and that's difficult to do on the 690 because first gear is quite fast. And obviously the weight, I mean, I forget, the KTM's over 300 pounds and this is over 200, so there's probably 100 pounds difference, you know, give or take between the bikes, and on a dirt bike that's like a crazy amount of weight. Yeah, my saddlebags all fit on really good. Previous owner ripped the seat on the first day apparently, but I'm not worried about that. I'm probably going to get a different seat anyways, or a different seat cover. I had to make myself a little bracket for the saddlebags. You can buy them just like that. I made it, this one's a little overkill. I'll probably cut it down a little bit. I did a little different though. If you guys got similar bikes, you can see back in there I went off the exhaust bracket. Luckily I can weld aluminum, so I made a little stopper under there to ride on the pipe. Some of the other ones put a big ugly hose clamp around there, and I didn't really like the looks of that, so I made it nice and clean. I'll trim it up a bit, make it not quite so big. Another thing I like, yeah, the suspension I love on the KTMs. I like to not have any linkage hanging down here. And obviously servicing it, there's only one big bearing to grease. And I don't know if these are bushings or bearings on these new bikes. But, so yeah, it's probably a bearing in the top and the bottom. So all you gotta do is put a little grease on there and do the big one and you're done. Whereas the other bikes, you gotta disassemble all the linkage and it's a lot more work. I got skid plates coming. Same company's gonna help me out, Adventure Spec. They're across the seas. So I'll have nice black skid plates and whatever else they make for this bike. What else? I was actually looking for a 350. I like that 350 class. I don't know, some of the guys that are new to my channel probably don't know. I used to have a Husqvarna, a little 310. This is like 5 years ago when I had, you know, when I was first getting the YouTube channel started, I had the TE 310. I think it was a 2012. That bike was awesome. Great little bike, but I changed over to the 690 and then I loved that bike for a couple of years, and it's an awesome bike as well. The 690 is probably the best dual sport you can get. Actually, we should stop calling it a dual sport. It's probably a small adventure bike is what it is. This is a true dual sport, you know, being that it's basically a dirt bike with blinkers. So yeah, that's the gist of it. If you guys have any other questions, drop them below in the comments and I'll definitely address them. I'm going to be doing lots of riding on it this fall as long as we don't get hammered with snow. So right on. Pretty looking bike too. I should mention, you guys, these Wolfman bags are just flipping awesome. I just love them. They're so I don't know what the word, you can like configure them to fit on anything, like, well, maybe not anything, but pretty much anything. Like, as you know, these are the same ones off my 690. But you know, with the way it hooks on back here and then the D-rings, I've got these ones pulled down so they're not hitting my butt all the time. But if you want to put, you know, a sleeping bag or a tent, or, you know, they've got tons of other bags that configure. You could pack this thing this high if you really wanted to. So hats off to Wolfman. Awesome stuff, you guys. And if you need any soft bags, check out their website. They got a whole ton of different bags and that, but these are the E12 and this is the Enduro tank bag, I think it was. Works awesome. Good stuff. Nice. Loads of suspension on these bikes. I had to film a little more here, you guys. I actually had the video closed off like 3 times already, and I keep finding beautiful stuff. The sun's trying to break out behind me here. It's just too beautiful. I'm just so enthusiastic about riding. I just absolutely love it, even in a few inches of snow. I just love this time of year when the snow's hanging off the trees. There's not enough snow to make it, you know, a mess, but it's gonna happen. It's, what time of the year is it here? It's November, I think it's the middle of the month. I think it's the 14th or 15th, so I'm not sure when I'll get this posted. But I'm quite high up, a little higher up here in elevation, so that's why we're into the snow, but just beautimous. So yeah, I'm really liking it, you guys. It's so much different than a 690. They're both awesome bikes, just one does things a little different than the other, I guess is how you can look at it. So definitely subscribe if you guys are new to my channel. Hit the little, just like this picture right here, hit the subscribe and then the bell beside it. That bell gives you notifications when I upload new videos, so that way you won't miss any. I have all kinds of stuff planned for this bike in the future of my YouTube channel, so it's nice to get on something different because, you know, now I'll kind of get through to other people. I did the 690 thing for a couple of years and loved it. Now I'm going to move on to something a little bit different. And so yeah, drop some comments, you guys. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions about this bike or my bike buying procedure, why I always choose bikes a year or two old, that's kind of where I like to be. I actually got a video, I'll put a link up here to explaining some of that. Why I like, you know, a good used bike versus a brand new one, which I almost bought a brand new one, but I couldn't justify it. It's not going to make me a better rider, so yeah, drop some comments, subscribe, hit the old thumbs up, and down below, like this picture, you guys, the drop down arrow, that's got links to my social media and website and that. Patreon's there for the people that want to help out. I've been doing some content over there that you can't see anywhere else, so check those links out. And from this mountaintop, you guys, I bid you farewell, and I will see you on the very next video. Right on.